Hi Manav,
Hi, sir. Good morning.
good morning. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good, good. Today Dave is late.
Did he forget?
Yeah. What happened? What Dave is saying? Ah,
He got confused. Today is Tuesday, right?
you asked for Wednesday, no? Yes, tomorrow class.
Yeah, it's written. Yeah.
He's coming. I'm just coming. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hi Dave. Good morning.
Hi, sir. There was no mention of time only what time class will be. I have no clue.
Manav requested for
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Uh,
No problem. we all are online, so it's advantage. Yeah? You can just wake up and you can join the class. Okay, so we had just started the extrema of multivariable function. Okay, and that is optimization. So we'll solve one real life example on optimization after the session, after this explanation, and with few question also. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about, in terms of one variable system. Okay, if I say one variable system means one independent variable, right? So for one independent variable, so we may have many maxima or many minima, right? In a local area, we may have many maxima and many minima. So like for one variable we will make a comparison because it's very much clear. You guys have already done the concept before, so as far as the concept is concerned, there is no difference in the concept of extrema of one variable with the and the extrema of two variable function. Okay, so we know one thing, like just a second. So one variable and two variable. Okay, so in one variable, like we have relative max. If I talk about relative max, how many relative max is there? Is a peak basically. We have n number of relative max. So relative max is a peak, okay, of a curve, right? Of a curve. In case of two variable function, relative max is also peak, right? Relative max
Yeah.
is also peak of what? Of a surface, right? Like we
Hmm.
see the mountain peak, so the relative max is a peak of a surface, right? Here it is curve. In case of two variable function, it is surface. Can have, they can have more than, more than one, more than one, right? What? More than one max relative maxima or what? Minima, right?
Hmm.
Far as the absolute maximum is or absolute minimum is concerned, we have only one, right? But only one absolute. Absolute maximum is global maxima, actually. So absolute
Hmm.
maxima or and minima. Okay. Then what? Now how do we find out these, you know peak or the lowest point or the relative minimum? How do we find out relative maxima or relative minima and where they occur actually?
Um,
dy by dx equal
so,
to 0.
Yeah, we set f dash x is equal to 0, right? We set f dash x is equal to 0.
hmm.
Yeah.
And what we find out by setting f dash x is equal to 0, we 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 find out critical points, right? So all of these relative maxima or relative minima occur at critical point. Do you agree with that? When we set f dash x is equal to 0,
Yeah.
we get critical points, right? So this relative maxima or relative minima given by critical points by let's setting up f dash x is equal to 0. This will give us the critical points, right? And the relative maxima and relative minima
Yeah.
will always occur at critical points. Mhm. Or f dash x is undefined, or the critical points can be obtained where f dash x is undefined. You can say like f dash x approaching infinity, along the asymptote, or the where derivative is undefined, where derivative is not, the function is not differentiable at that point. Do you understand that? So that is also a critical point. Hmm?
Hmm.
Any
Yeah.
example where the f dash x is not like undefined? Any example where f dash x is undefined?
Um,
There are three places where f dash x is undefined. Let me know those three
F dash
places.
x and
Yeah,
asymptotes, right? At
yeah,
asymptotes.
yeah. Mano will tell this definitely.
oh, okay.
First is asymptote, means there is a break. Basically, you should tell there is a break in the function, right? Means along asymptote there is a break in the function, right? So f dash x is undefined there. What else?
Asymptote. What else?
Vertical, vertical tangent, right? This is for the discontinuous, when the function is
Hmm.
discontinuous, not continuous.
Vertical tangent is also like an asymptote only, right?
Yeah, it's asymptote only.
Like tan inverse function.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Like tan inverse function is asymptote.
Yeah. Third is basically say this kind of sharp corner, you can say, or at corner,
Yeah. In the
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So there the function is not differential because you will get infinite tangent over there. So that way you can understand. Along this line the slope is different. Along this line the slope is different, right? So the left hand slope is not equal to right hand slope. So therefore the function is not differentiable at this point. Do you understand that? So this is about
yeah.
where the function is not differentiable, and we can find out the different critical points uh,
Hmm.
based on this. Okay. So and one more thing, where we find critical points apart from this, I think they mentioned some word where the critical point
In
inflection.
Inflection points.
Yes.
inflection point,
Yeah. Yeah.
saddle for two variables,
Yeah.
saddle
So
point.
critical point, you can mention that critical point could be inflection point. What exactly what exactly inflection point does here? What exactly the inflection point is?
It changes from a concave either to a concave to a convex or from a convex to a concave shape.
Yes. So it
So
basically changes the
the curve.
convex. You said convex.
Concavity. Yeah, it changes the
Yeah.
concavity of the
It changes the
Yeah.
concavity.
concavity.
Concavity of curve, right? Means it will go either concave up to concave down. So at what point this happen is basically the inflection point. Like here, this is the point. So where basically this happen, okay? So that is the point of inflection, and this is also a critical point, right? So see, this so far we have done like in the calc 1 or one dimensional one variable function. Okay, there's a lot of similarity in this. So let's deal one by one. Like in part B, we have seen like how to find out the critical points by setting up the derivative equal to zero, right? But what about in case of two variable function? Which derivative is set to be zero? How many derivative we have basically in two
The
variable?
partial.
Partial
Yes,
derivative.
yes. We talked about the partial derivative. So that is basically the derivative function we derived. So which derivative function must be set to zero? F dash x or f dash y? Or means fx or fy?
Both.
Both, definitely. See, understand the real life example. If you look at my hand, that's very important because when we go from positive gradient to negative gradient, right? Like if we are talking about curve, one dimension, one variable function, if we are going from negative positive gradient to negative gradient, what we get? We get maxima, right? We get maxima. When we go from negative gradient to positive gradient, what we get? We get minima. Okay. So suppose I'm giving you one diagram here so that you can verify that diagram always. Keep that diagram in your mind. Like this is the diagram. Do you understand this diagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The hat we used to wear that, right? So basically when we like if we are talking about peak, so we have defined two derivative function in case of two variable, in case of multivariable function, right? They are sleeping.
No, no.
Okay. So see when we approach peak, right? We always talk about two direction, which is along x direction and the other is along y direction. Do you understand that? Along x direction, along y direction, right? That is the partial derivative is. Okay. So if suppose we want to approach peak of the
Yeah.
mountain or peak of this cap, okay. So like what is the peak? Is this the peak here? Like is this point is a peak point P?
No.
No. Why? Like if we set
No, that's not.
see
The
if
the
we
peak is where the four lines meet.
yeah, but how do we define that? So the basically f dash y, if you look at this tangent or this tangent basically fy, right? So fy is basically zero because that is horizontal, right? Y is not changing. So fy is zero there in that case. And what is fx? Fx is this one. You understand? So here fx is not equal to zero, isn't it? Fx is
Hmm.
not equal to zero. So what we are talking here is,
Hmm.
what can we say P is a peak? No, we can't say that because Fy is zero, but Fx is not zero. So what basically the peak is where Fy and Fx both are zero, like this point. If we at Q, so you can observe that this derivative is also zero and the derivative along x is also zero, isn't it? So both the partial derivative are zero at the same point. So in that case we can say we
Yeah.
approaches peak of the peak of the surface. Do you understand that? So when it happens at the same point, then only we can say that the given moment is basically peak of the surface, right? It must happen at the same point. It's very
Hmm.
important. right? Both the derivative must be 0. So you can write the statement here, like it is also found by critical points, but you know, you can write that given by critical points, but both fx and fy is equal to 0. Okay, fx and fy, and means both must be 0, right? But at the same point, right? Now here also the critical points are where fx or fy and fx, or and or you can say both, and or are undefined. Okay, undefined or saddle point basically. So what is saddle point here, and what saddle point do in case of multivariable function? So it also changes the concavity. It also changes the concavity. So concavity means like,
So
hmm,
saddle point is the inflection of 3D shape, right?
yeah, point of
Yeah,
inflection,
yeah,
you can say,
obviously.
but that is not called as point of inflection. That is saddle point. So where the function changes its concavity. So if suppose we are going in that direction, okay, let's say this way, okay, like one function is coming like this, okay, and the other surface is going like that, right? One is going from decreasing to increasing, right? Where is this point is what, the minimum
Hmm.
along one direction, right? And the other surface is going like this. Are you getting that? Going like this. So the in another direction, the function is basically going from positive gradient to negative gradient. Do you understand that? So I can do
Hmm.
this together,
Hmm.
right? So I think you must have imagined that concept, where the point where
Yeah.
the surface changes its
Yeah.
concavity means the point where, if you talk about the direction in a particular direction, so in one direction the surface going from negative gradient to positive gradient, and in other direction the function is going from positive gradient to negative gradient, right? So saddle point, I'm going to draw all of this so that you can imagine the thing. Okay, so you have observed the peak of the surface here in case of the hat. Okay, but if I'm going to draw one,
So can you scroll up for 1 second?
yeah, yeah.
Just
Okay, just complete that.
yeah.
There.
Yeah, done.
Okay, now draw this diagram that will show you the this diagram shows you the peak, right? Now will, what is the minimum point of the mountain valley, right? The valley and peak. If you talk about in case of mountain, in mountain range we get lot of peaks, and we get lot of valley, isn't it?
Hmm.
So we are talking about those points only,
Hmm.
peak and valley. So Let me complete drawing so that you can understand and you will draw it properly. Can you imagine the surface here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the value of the surface is this. This is mat of Agiflella. Have you done riding on horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you must have
The,
sat on the saddle.
yeah. Saddle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that value in peak, where is the arrow pointing to?
The point. This you're asking, no? Value of surface. Are you asking this?
No, no, above that.
Yeah. Peak. Okay. Not
Yeah.
like that. Means this
Where-
this shows peak basically. The peak is here.
Yeah.
Here itself.
That,
That diagram
yeah.
shows peak basically. Okay. So you can see that here in one direction the surface is going from positive gradient to negative gradient along CD, and in another direction the surface is going from negative gradient to positive gradient, and that is along AB. Am I right? So this point where they intersect is basically the saddle point. Where that happened is basically the saddle point. It looks awesome, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was good artist, I was good, I can draw like anything, like sunflower, apple, anything, any 3D image. I used to draw in 7th, 8th standard.
So I can clearly see from your drawings
Uh,
your talent. Really, it's really good actually.
thanks. It's simple one, but like to draw the figure of any real life object or human, it's very concentrated though. Like you have to focus on every aspect of the object.
Hmm.
Okay, so done. So this is basically you can write concavity in 3D. So can we say the saddle point is a point where the surface having maxima and minima both?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One's a maxima, one's a minima. Yeah, in one direction.
No,
It's
yeah,
one direction.
in one direction. See, basically, if we are talking about surface, the surface can't have maxima or minima together. Okay, if we are talking
Yeah.
about surface can't have max. We can't say that this is maxima and minima also. We can't say like that. Okay, so
Hmm.
in particular direction, like in one direction, the curve will have maxima. Curve, not the surface. The curve will have maxima, and in another direction, the curve may have minima. Okay, so it's the constraint is direction here basically. So if we restrict the discussion with respect to direction, then we can say that at the same point we have maxima and minima together. But what we are really discussing here, we are discussing about the valley and peak of the surface. It's not about the curve. It's about the surface, right? So on surface we can't have maxima and minima together, right? So when it seems
Hmm.
happening, so that is basically the saddle point, right?
Right.
Okay. So now you just keep writing about the concept where uh, where both fx and fy are positive, changing from positive gradient to negative gradient. See here, in understand one time again here. See, if you talk about the peak of the surface, right? See, at the point Q is peak of the surface, right? So if we are going along x direction or if we are traveling along y direction, okay, in both the direction, in both direction, the function is changing from positive gradient to negative gradient. Means fx and fy both are changing from positive gradient to negative gradient. Okay, and if fx and fy both are changing from negative gradient to positive gradient, negative to positive gradient, then that is the relative minima. And if both are changing from positive gradient to negative gradient, that is relative maxima. Do you understand that concept? And that must happen at the same point, right?
Yeah.
So keep writing that where both fx and fy are, this positive to negative means positive gradient to negative gradient. Okay, or we can
The
say,
gradient is decreasing, right? It is not becoming.
yeah, so that's why positive to negative, no, I mentioned positive to negative means increasing to decreasing.
No, I'm asking
Yeah, yeah,
this, right?
yeah. Yeah,
Like from both the ends, you are saying, right? Like it.
yeah, from both the end,
Okay.
from both
But it's
direction.
going towards negative, but it itself is not negative, right?
No, no, like if in one dimensional figure, what? How
Like
would
if
you
we
define this?
if we get of the gradient,
Hmm.
if we graph a function of the gradient, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, so it will be going
yeah,
negative to
it will be negative. It will be
no, no,
going
it will
downward. It
be
will be
positive
downward
to
sloping, but
negative.
not negative, right?
Yeah, positive to negative. It will go down.
Okay,
Positive to negative, it will go down.
go down.
Okay, we are talking
We
about
are
the
talking about the
gradient
whole
function.
thing because yeah,
And if you can understand this way also, it is increasing function, and then at some moment it is zero, and then it decreasing. So that is basically the gradient is increasing, and the after some time it is decreasing. So increasing to decreasing, right?
got it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So for increasing to decreasing, we are at relative maxima. Okay, that is peak of the surface. How many peak we can have?
Infinite, no?
Infinite, yeah. So because in mountain range, if you understand, we may have different peaks, right? They are maybe one lower than other, or maybe one lesser height than the other, but they are peak basically. You understand? We always talk about that is the peak, that peaks, right? The valley. The absolute peak is different altogether, different concept, right? We will have only one absolute peak,
Right.
but we never discuss absolute peak or the global maximum, right? Because we always discuss the things in local area. We never say like if we are going to produce 20 lakhs product, like 20 lakhs object. If we are going to manufacture 20 lakhs, suppose the company manufacture only 100, okay, only 100 product of that kind. So if suppose I gave the idea to produce 20 lakhs of that object, so it will definitely give you the profit. Will it happen? Are you getting the idea of what I'm saying? Like suppose a manufacturer
Mm.
company produces 100 things, okay, 100 just 100 object, okay, per month, to optimize the profit, right? If I suggest the company to manufacture 20 lakhs of that product in per month, so will it increase the profit?
I mean, this is like a economics type question, no?
No, no,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
still don't
economic,
understand
it's
the.
optimization. You didn't
You are saying
understand.
100 units.
Yeah, if suppose a company manufacture 100 units in 1 month, okay, per month. Hmm?
Hmm.
This is optimum. This provide this optimize the profit. This optimize the profit, right? But if I suggest, see, in
Hmm.
order to increase the profit, if I suggest instead of 100 units, let's produce 1,000 units, okay, and that is the highest company can manufacture.
We
That
couldn't hear properly.
that is the highest the company can manufacture, okay, with all the resources. This is the highest 1,000 unit can company can manufacture 1,000 units with all its resources. So is it feasible? Is this suggestion worth for the company?
Depends on how much they sell. Now I'm still
So,
No, no.
yeah,
understanding.
I
there's also something called economy of scale.
no.
Economies of
I
scale. Like
already
it
no.
depends
Economy
on
of
how much they
scale.
sell, right?
I already said in condition A. I already said if company is manufacturing 100 units, that is to optimize the profit, right? What see, this is the same example we have discussed in case of bridge, right? In case of bridge, if we are making this bridge, right, we are manufacturing this bridge, right, and if I want to you know
Hmm.
make it more stronger. So what I suggest, I will suggest to use all steel material, all the premium cement, everything to make it more stronger, right? But without considering the profit
Mm.
raised by the company. So there is some, there is some optimization, and there is some global, the highest, the absolute maximum value. What I'm trying to explain you, that in local area, in local area we have some maximum, we have some minima, but there are always absolute maxima and absolute minima, right? We never discuss this absolute maxima or absolute minima. Do you understand that? We never discuss that. Though, if this is the same scenario here. If I'm trying to just tell company to manufacture 1,000 units, it will, by just counting the, if suppose 1,000 units is sold out, we'll definitely get the profit. But that doesn't happen, no, because there are a lot of constraint. There are a lot of constraint in the scenario about the business, like whether it is the demand is there or not, whether the company is oligopoly, monopoly. Those lot of economic concepts are involved in that, isn't it? So which gives us the idea
Yeah.
about how much units is to be manufactured, like 100 units or 120, 110. Is the highest we can manufacture from the company is 1,000 unit, but we never manufacture that. Are you getting what I'm saying here? The absolute maxima can be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Absolute maxima is the
So that's the global
hypothetical.
maxima, right?
Yeah, global maxima. Absolute maxima or global maxima is the
Yeah.
hypothetical concept. We
And for
never do that.
optimization, we are interested in local.
Local
We are
area.
interested in local minima for
Yeah.
based on the conditions given.
Yes, in
Makes
local
sense.
area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
We
I'm
never
getting. Yeah.
discuss about the global or absolute maxima kind of thing, right? So that what I wanted to explain you. So that's why we all are, study about differentiation, change, and everything. Okay. So yeah, keep writing that relative maxima. Okay. Where where one positive to negative, and okay, for just cover up relative minima also, and then we talk about the saddle point. So increasing to decreasing relative maxima, or decreasing to and decreasing to increasing relative minima, right? And then about saddle point, where one means either fx or fy. Let's say fx or fy changes from positive gradient to negative gradient, and other either fy or fx changes from negative to positive gradient. Okay, at the same point, at the same point. Okay, this creates saddle point. Okay, this creates saddle point. Okay, now just make one thing, make note of this. Critical points happen. Critical point happen where fx fy is equal to 0 at a specific point. also happen where fx and or fy are undefined. So these critical points, the points where we are not interested basically. Suppose this is the surface and we get critical points out of the domain of the function, right? If this is the surface and we get the critical points which is outside the domain of the function, then we will not discuss those points because that is we are not interested in, right? Because that is outside of the domain. So also happen where fx or fy are undefined on domain of fx comma y. Like you can make note of this. If we get a point outside of domain, outside of domain, okay. So then you can make last point here, which is all relative extrema are max or minimum. Extrema means max or min are found at critical points. Okay. And how do we find critical points? By setting fx and fy equal to
Constant. I
0.
mean, like, zero.
Hmm.
Zero. No, I meant the x and y stay constant. That's when,
That's
like,
partial
partial.
derivative. Yeah. So we set fx and fy
Yeah,
equal.
yeah.
Have you practiced integration questions, Dev, that I sent?
Yes, I finished one of them. I finished the worksheet.
Okay, cool. Was that difficult or easy?
Once I got stuck, but then eventually I actually used one of those apps
Hmm.
which tell you the final answer. When I
Okay.
saw the final answer, I realized like how I can go about it, and then I managed to crack it. Like
Okay.
after I realized it
Awesome.
was a partial fraction type,
Okay, partial
which
fraction.
we hadn't really explored it in IB too much. Like
Hmm.
there were limited sums, so my concept wasn't that strong in that.
Hmm.
But then it was a very long sum, like a 3-page sum. Keep breaking it up
Okay, substitution is
into like
also
smaller and smaller parts.
maybe
Yeah,
substitution.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It was like x cube divided by x square minus 2x minus 3.
Okay, so basically we get higher power in numerator than the denominator. So we go for
Yeah,
actual division, and then when we can break the
yeah,
numerator, we separate it out, and
yeah,
then it will give you the partial fraction.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So okay, now what is second order derivative, and why it is so important? How it helps you to find out maxima or minima?
The second order will tell you whether it's a maxima or minima, and if because the first will only tell you if it's a the point like is a
No, that
critical point.
also
Like
no
if
that
it's
that's also gives you whether the point is maximum minima. But for that you have to find out the the value of f dash x for the neighboring points. Okay, neighboring points of the critical point.
Yeah.
So if we are getting from positive to negative gradient, then we can say that that is maxima. If it is giving you negative gradient to positive,
Hmm.
right, for the neighboring points, then it will be minima. But
Hmm.
second order derivative will directly give you whether the point is maxima or minima for that critical points. So once we find
Yeah.
the critical points and we find the derivative, second order derivative, so we simply plug that point in the second order derivative, and if it is positive, it means the given point is maxima, right?
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
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 right. Means means
With negative.
when we plug the point in second order derivative, if we get positive, so the point is maxima. Is it true or false?
No, negative.
Negative, yeah.
Negative is
Yeah,
maxima. Positive is minimum.
yeah. So when we get negative, then the critical point is at maxima, and when we get positive, the critical point is minima. Right? So far we have understood in the one
Yeah.
variable function. Right? So the same scenario is here also, but the second order derivative is defined by the Hessian matrix. We'll talk about that later, but I'll just give you the expression about how to find out second order derivative. Don't confuse if I am writing dxy, because it's very much similar to directional derivative, but this is the second order derivative. Let me give the heading also, second order derivative. Okay, the notation is dxy, and that is fx, fxx dot fyy minus fxfy, you know dot fyx. But we know one thing, that fxy and fyx are same.
Equal.
Equivalent. Yeah.
Yes. So instead of writing this twice, what I will write, I simply do it square. Okay. So fxx dot fyy minus fxy the whole square. Okay. Now, based on the sign of this, the second order derivative, we have the whole concept here. Like, we just focus on sign of second order derivative, isn't it? We focus on sign. If sign is
Yeah.
negative, the point is maxima. If sign is positive, the point is minima, right? So similarly
Yeah.
here, we just focus on the sign of the second order derivative, and it will give you four such condition. Okay, if we get, like, if we will plug the points, we'll plug the critical points. So if the critical point is a comma b, we always get a ordered pair as a critical points, right? So that will see in the question, how do we get ordered pair. So basically we plug the points in the second order derivative. So when we plug that point, and if we get positive, what does that mean? Okay, as I said, we'll get three condition, four condition in fact, like this positive, this negative, and zero, right? If we get zero, what does that mean? The test is,
So what's the difference? What's the difference between the second? I didn't get that.
sorry.
The
What's
first
the
and the
difference
second.
between one and
Yeah,
two?
yeah, yeah, we'll discuss that. It's not by mistake, it's purposely. So if we get zero, the second order, the derivative at the critical point is zero, the test is inconclusive, right? We cannot say about whether it is positive gradient or whether it is maxima or minima, right? Whether it is peak or valley. So if suppose
Hmm.
we are getting positive, what does that mean? If we are getting positive, hmm,
It's a minima. Right?
minima. So to get positive, like this term should also be positive. Do you understand?
Hmm.
Fxx must also be positive. If that is positive, the first term, because this is negative, right? We are subtracting something from this. If suppose, now focus properly, listen to me properly. This is really important. See, if we get both fxx and fyy both negative, right? Both negative. What does that mean?
Hmm.
Both negative will give you positive value, isn't it?
Yeah.
And both positive will also give you positive value because we are multiplying that. Hmm?
Yeah.
And when one of them is negative, other is positive, then only we will get negative value, right?
Yeah.
If fxx is negative, fyy is positive, so when you multiply negative and positive, it will be negative. So negative minus negative will always
Hmm.
be negative, right?
Yeah.
So fxx is suppose positive. Let's talk about first condition first. So if second order derivative is positive, so we'll have two conditions. Either fxx ab is positive, right? So ab gives relative minima, right? Fx ab is also positive. Then only we'll get second order derivative as positive, right? Then it will gives relative minima, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then it is obviously like if suppose this is positive, fxx is positive, then it is obvious that fyy ab is also positive. Then only we will hold this true, right? The second order derivative is positive. So it is obvious, like if suppose fxx ab is positive, it is obvious that fyy ab is also positive. Now if fxx ab is negative, right? Then AB gives relative maxima. So here also you can write if one is negative, since this is positive, second order is positive, then it is obvious that fyy AB is also negative, right? See, change is negative.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Change is negative, but second order derivative is positive. Then we get relative minima, and if second order derivative positive and fxx is negative, we get relative maxima. And what about this? When second order derivative is negative, so either of this is negative basically, right? So either of this is negative, the other must be positive, means they are going in different direction, like the gradient changing in from positive to negative, negative to positive in different direction at the point. So that is basically saddle point. Okay,
Hmm.
saddle point at AB. So you can write the little bit description here as fxx ab is positive, or no, and fyy ab is negative, or vice versa. In that case, we will get second order derivative as negative.
Okay.
So this is the test basically called second order derivative test. Okay, so you have to understand this properly.
Yeah.
Let's do one sum, and then we'll, based on the sum, we'll discuss this. Does that make sense? This is very much related to, this very much similar to what we have studied in the calc 1.
Yeah. Pretty easy.
Hmm. So let's I give you some steps here. Have you done this, Manav? Have you written this down?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So write some steps. What steps we have to follow while solving the question? First, we set fx is equal to 0 and fy is equal to 0. Second, find critical points. Obviously, by setting up the partial derivative equal to 0, we will get critical points. And then find dxy and then plug the critical point. Right? So this is the steps. Now, first question is fx comma y is equal to 2x square plus y square minus 2xy minus 8x minus 2y plus 2. So just let me know the first step. Fx is equal to 0. This means what is to be set to 0?
Oh, so it becomes like a simultaneous equation system.
Yes, yes,
No?
yes. Yeah. So then only we'll get an ordered pair, right? X comma y.
Yeah.
So this will be 2 to the 4x minus 2y
Yeah, yeah, got it. So 4x minus 2y minus 8
is
is
equal to
equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. 2y
0.
minus
That is
2x
basically
minus 2 is equal to 0.
4x minus y is equal to 4.
Minus 4, yeah. 2x minus
Y is equal to 0.
2x minus y is
So fy means 2y
2y.
minus 2x
2x minus 4. 2y
minus 2 equal to 0.
is equal to 2x minus
So
4.
y
Y
equal
is equal
to
to
6.
2x plus 2. 2, 2x minus 4
Y
is
is
equal to
equal to
2x plus 2. 4x minus 2 is
Y
equal
is
to
equal to
2x
6,
plus
I think.
4.
y is equal
2x
to
is
6.
equal to 10. I
Yeah.
got 10, so 5. I got 5.
X is equal to 5, no?
X
So
is 5, yeah.
x is equal to minus 5, minus 5.
Plus 5. Positive
Plus
5.
5.
Positive 5,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, plus. Yeah, yeah.
So what is your critical point? See, this satisfy both the equation. Okay, this is important. This satisfy, this critical point
Yeah.
satisfy both the equation, right? We have to we talk about the same point here. So this satisfy both the equation. So therefore the critical point is we'll talk about criticality in critical points later while doing sums. Okay, so the critical point is basically 5 comma 6 here. Okay, now what's the next step? The next step is find dxy. Not like this. Dxy will be like second order derivative, yeah, like this. So fxx, okay, so fxx is how much? 4
4.
into fyy is 2
2.
minus fxy is minus 2 and minus 2, obviously. So 8
Hmm.
minus 4 is equal to 4, which is positive.
So minima.
Minima. So no, first when you get this positive, right? When you get this positive, so you have to check the sign of
Hmm.
uh, this fxx. This first,
fxx.
yeah, fxx. So what is fxx?
So both were greater than 0. Both were greater than 0, no?
Yeah, fxx is also
Hmm.
4, right? Fxx is 4, yeah. So that
Hmm.
is also positive. So when both are positive, we are at relative minima.
It's a minima.
Relative minima at 5 comma 6. And what is the value of minima? How do we
The
find out the
value
value
of
of
the
minima?
minima. You'll have to sub it.
We have to plug
You
this
sub it
point,
in. So
yeah, in where?
in the original equation.
Yes, in the original equation. Okay, so you just calculate that, and that will be the local minima or the relative minima. So the minimum, or you can say that is depth, right? So I think you will get minus 24. Is that fine?
No, so I got another one.
Let's check
I
that out.
got minus 28.
28. Are you sure? We'll substitute 5 and
Let
6.
me check.
So 5 and 6 means 50, 6, 36,
5 and 6 in the main one, right?
60. Yeah, that will give you z value, right? So that is basically the height. So 5 and 6. So 25 to the 50 plus 6, 36 minus 5, 6 are 30 to the 60
Oh,
minus
no, 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 no.
40.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
Okay.
it's 20. It's 20.
24 minus 24, right?
Minus 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the main point is critical points, how to find out critical points. Okay. So let's discuss some of the systems where we have to understand how to find out critical points, and like sometimes what things to be ignored, like that is not the critical points. So we may have different systems, like it was simultaneous equation in the previous question. Similarly, we may have different systems while solving for partial derivative, right? So if suppose we in this session we are given fx f fy. In this section, basically we are given fx and fy. So we have to solve for critical points. So we basically set fx is equal to 0 and fy is equal to 0, right? So if suppose we have fx is equal to 3x square minus 3y and fy is equal to minus 3x plus 3y square, please find out the critical points here.
So there are two options.
Yeah. So what are the critical points you got?
They 1 comma 1 is one option for
Hmm.
sure,
Hmm.
and 0 comma 0 also will.
Yes. So when we set fx is equal to 0, so 3x square minus 3y is equal to 0. So y is equal to x square, right? This will give you y is equal to x square.
Hmm.
And when we set this equation is equal to 0, so 3 is got cancelled and y square is equal to x and y is equal to x square. So we'll plug one of these, right? So y is like x square, so x raised to 4 minus x is equal to 0. So x is common, x cube minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 or x cube minus 1 is equal to 0. So the real solution is basically x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
this satisfy this equation, this value satisfy both the equation, right? Both fx and fy. So we'll consider that as a critical point. So when we plug x is equal to 0 here in this equation, it will give you y value. If x is equal to 1, it will give you y value, right? Different y value. So x is equal to y and
Hmm.
sorry, x is equal to 0 and 0. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. Okay, I'm giving different example here. Uh,
Is there
yeah,
partial integration also, like partial derivative?
partial integration. No,
Yeah, is there something like that?
no. In in multiple integral, we have a surface, no? You know, if two variable function is there, right? We have a surface. So what is integration is basically why integration is being used to
Vol
to find out
Surface area or volume, depending upon what order it is.
area under the curve,
Area, yeah, exactly, and volume, right?
volume of the revolution. If we are having
Yeah,
only
yeah.
one curve, one function, like one independent variable, we simply find out the area under the curve. But if we have a surface like for multivariable function, we get a surface. So what is under the surface? What is
Right.
under the
Volume type.
volume? Yeah. So we find volume in multiple integral. We'll talk about that's very interesting. We'll talk about that and
Yeah.
how Riemann sum and all those stuff is play around the multiple integral. That's very interesting. Okay. Have patience. We'll do that. All of this. Okay. I'll share you one video. Okay. I have combined
Mhm.
all of my video on higher mathematics, which I have taken with you guys and one of my other student. Okay. So I have taught that particular student about this multiple integral. So I've combined all of those videos. I will share that with you, okay, on mail. So that's about 1.2
Yeah.
GB, I think 1.2 GB. It's very big. So you can download those video, like that single video actually. You can download that video to go through the previous classes also, like how I taught you. You can go
Okay.
through those previous classes if you are interested. So you can you know go ahead also, like
Go
I
ahead.
taught the person, so you can go through
That
that.
would be great.
Yeah, I'll be sharing that
Yeah.
just after the class. Okay. So I'm giving you different system here. Let's say that is fx is equal to 2x minus 6 minus root y, and fy is equal to minus x upon 2 root y plus 1. Just find out the critical points.
Once we get x and y, what do we do? According to the steps, we
We plug that point, that critical point, in second order derivative, okay, like here in third step, and we just focus on
it
the
is
sign.
36 and 12, right? They were.
Huh? I got for X. I got some this thing.
Are you talking about
Let
critical
me see.
points here of this system? 36 is not the answer.
I got
Hmm.
12 by 5 for X, and I got root of that for Y.
No, I give you the answer so that you can rectify that. The answer is basically
Oh, sorry,
4.
sorry, I made a
Yeah, yeah,
mistake.
yeah. 4 comma 4. Just have a second
It's
try to get this.
5,2.
4 comma
I
4.
got 4,2.
No, I think 4 comma 4 is the right answer.
Then, oh yeah, yeah. My bad. It's 4.
Did you get this, Manu? 4 comma 4.
Yes, I'm doing it again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, got it.
Okay.
Four, two, 4 and 4, right?
4 and 4. Yeah, 4 comma 4.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the last example of such kind. If we have fx is equal to
No, but
3y.
isn't this is just half the.
Yeah, yeah. We are just practicing how to find out critical points. Then we'll have full-fledged questions on this. Okay. Because
Are
the
there any exceptions to this?
yeah, we have some exceptions that we are going to do right now, or what actually the methods to find out critical points. Basically, those x and y must satisfy both the equation that I want to convey here. Okay, the xy, the ordered pair, must satisfy both the equation.
If we get multiple answers, right? If we get a
Yes.
single set,
Yeah.
then it's
See,
fine.
if suppose we set fx is, I explain you here. If suppose we get fx is equal to 0, and we just get x containing term for fx, so x is suppose 5, right? X is 5, and if we get fy is equal to 0, which has two equations, means which involve two variable x and y both. 2x plus 3y is equal to 7, right? So what are the critical points? What are the critical points?
What is f of f? What is fy?
Fy is this, suppose 2x plus 3y is equal to 7 and fx is equal to 0, x is equal to 5. Okay, so what we do, we simply plug this point in the
Three
equation.
y 7 we get, right?
Yeah, so 3y is equal to 7 minus,
10. 10.
yeah, which is minus 3, so y is equal to minus 1 and x. So basically what we find out, we find out, the points which satisfy both the equation, isn't it? We satisfy both the equation.
Yeah.
So that is our objective here. We are finding the critical point. We satisfy both the equation. That is the same point at the, like what I mentioned in the description is at the same point, right? At the same point, isn't it? The peak or valley happen at the
Yeah.
same point. So we are finding the common point which satisfy both the partial derivative. Do you understand this? So let's discuss how, like, we may have different scenario also. So this is the last scenario which I'm putting up here. If fx is equal to this and fy is equal to 3x minus x square minus 2xy. Okay, let's talk about this and let me know the critical points here, because you will get different scenarios here. So by setting fx is equal to 0, did you receive two equations?
So 1 second, I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what I got is there are a lot of combinations.
Hmm.
There's one combination where x is 0 and y can be any real number.
Any real number?
Any real number.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, sorry. X and x comma y 0 comma 0. That's one.
Sorry,
0 comma
0 comma
0
0 comma 0. Okay.
meaning,
Then
and the other one is 1 comma 1 or
Hmm.
something. Comma 1, yeah.
1 comma 1 is 1.
Hmm.
0 comma 0 is another.
Hmm.
Uh,
0 and 3 is 1, right?
0 and just a second. The screen stopped sharing here. Just a second. 0 and 3 is right. Yeah, 0 and 3 is the right answer. Did you find all? That's the important thing here. You have to find all critical points.
so
Yeah.
I,
Sorry.
the thing is,
0 comma 0, 1 comma
if
1.
x is
Hmm.
if x, when x is equal to y, all
Hmm.
of them are satisfied.
Okay, like that. So are you getting x is equal to y somewhere? Okay.
Right? Because
No, no, that's
in,
wrong.
in x,
That's we are talking about in local areas, so we'll definitely
Where
get
are we
a
getting
finite
x
number.
equal to y?
Let's check that. Let's check that. When we substitute fx is equal to 0, okay. So 3y minus 2xy minus y square is equal to 0, right?
hmm,
We can take y common, so 3 minus 2x minus y is equal to 0. So this gives y equal to 0 or
yeah,
3 minus 2x minus y is equal to 0. So this gives two equations here. And when we set fy is equal to
yeah,
this fy is equal to 0, okay. So basically like 3x minus x square minus 0 is equal to minus 2xy, okay. So when we see, we got two equations here, we got two options, either y equal to 0 or this. So when we plug y is equal to 0, okay, so what happened to this fy, okay. So when we plug y equal to 0, so this gives 3x minus x square is equal to 0, isn't it?
yeah,
So this is basically x common, 3 minus x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 3, right? X is equal to 0 or x is equal to 3. So for y is equal to 0, we get two values for x. So how do we write the ordered pair here? 0 comma 0 and 3 comma 0, isn't it? So these are the critical point for the first
hmm,
condition. And then when we put y, 3 minus 2x minus y is equal to 0. So basically what we are putting up here, y is equal to 3 minus 2x, isn't it? We are putting up basically y is equal to 3 minus 2x. So that will be 0 is equal to, let me choose a different color. So 0 is equal to 3x minus x square minus 2x, y is 3 minus 2x, right? So this will give you different set of values. So this is 3x minus x square minus 6x plus 4x square. So 4x square minus x square is 3x square, and 3 minus 6 is minus 3x, right? So how many values of x you are getting here? X is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1. Do you
2.
agree? Why 2? When you take 3x common, you will get x
X is equal
minus
to
1.
0.
Yeah, I got these. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1. So what are the critical points now? Okay, for that you have to find out the y value here. you got x is equal to 0 or 1, so y is equal to, for when you put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 3. When you put x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what are the critical points? So the critical points are 0, comma 3, 1, comma 1. Understood?
Hmm.
So we have to consider all these points as a critical points. Okay, so there are four
Got it.
critical points here. In next class, we'll be discussing about more questions on to find out the relative minima, maxima, or the saddle points. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So we stop here.
So tomorrow's class is
So this week, sir,
Yeah,
Devash,
yeah.
do we want to do Wednesday, that is tomorrow and Saturday, or Wednesday and Friday, or Wednesday and Thursday? What I think Wednesday would be good, right? What do we want to do? What is convenient for you?
Wait. We can do now the normal classes, no? Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesday and Friday. Can we do Wednesday and Is Wednesday and Saturday fine only for this week?
I'm okay. I'm okay. That's
So
okay.
yeah. Even I'm okay. I'll manage my time. So we keep Wednesday and Saturday, right? So tomorrow and on Saturday, 11.
Fine.
Tomorrow I think 4 you have requested, Mano. 4:15, 4:30 I think you mentioned.
yeah, 4:15. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
I'll
we'll
be
see.
back before that only. But yeah.
We will say that. What's the
Okay.
confirm? And I'll
So yeah,
confirm that also.
only four
And
four
Saturday
fifteen.
11,
Yeah.
right? Saturday 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So you have the sheets like integration so that you can practice few questions. And in next class, like tomorrow, I will be doing this, the optimization problem. Okay, and I'm sharing you the videos. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye, Devash.
Bye bye.